Today, we will start off our series on health insurance for employees by looking at the two magic numbers you need to know for 2026. These numbers determine exactly how much of your money stays in your pocket and who gets to decide which insurance you use. So, you're working in Germany, your career is moving up, and your salary is growing. That's the dream, right? But in the German system, earning more doesn't just change your bank balance, it actually changes the rules of how you are insured. First, let's talk about the contribution assessment ceiling. In German, it's that long word, Beitragsbemessungsgrenze. Basically, the German public health system JKV works on a percentage of your income. But there is a limit. They don't just keep taking more forever. For 2026, that limit is 69,750 euro per year or about 5,812 euro per month. If you earn 60,000, you pay a percentage of every euro. But if you earn 80,000, the insurance office stops counting at 69,750 euro. Anything you earn above that line is essentially contribution free for your health insurance. It's a built in cap that protects high earners from paying an unlimited amount. Now, there's a second number that is even more important for your lifestyle, the compulsory insurance threshold. In 2026, this sits at 77,400 euro a year or about 6,450 a month. This number is all about control. Below 77,400 euro, the law says you must stay in the public system JKV. You don't really have a choice. Above 77,400 euros, you have officially crossed the line into voluntary membership. This is the moment the door opens. You can choose to stay in the public system or you can opt out entirely and switch to private health insurance. Here is the catch. These numbers aren't permanent. Every year, the government moves the goalposts. For example, back in 2025, these thresholds were a few thousand euros lower. This means that if you got a raise recently, you might have just crossed one of these lines without even realizing it. We always recommend checking bundesregierung.de for the latest official updates because as the economy changes, these ceilings changes too. Let's jump to the part where you are earning below that 77,400 euro mark. If that's you, you are what's called compulsorily insured. In plain English, the law says you are staying with the public health insurance, JKV. But how much is that actually going to cost you every month? Let's look at the math for 2026 because it's just not one single flat fee. Your health insurance contribution is actually made up of three different parts. The good news, you don't pay for all of it alone. Your employer chips in significantly. The standard rate, the 14.6%. This is the base price. It is 14.6% of your gross salary, but it's a fair 50-50 split. You pay 7.3% and your boss pays 7.3%. Easy enough. The Zusatzbeitrag. This is an additional contribution that varies depending on which insurance company you pick. For 2026, the average is around 2.9%. This is also a split 50-50 with your employer, and since every insurer sets their own rate, you can actually save money just by switching to a cheaper provider. Long-term care, Pflegeversicherung. This one is a bit more personal. It ranges from 2.6% to 4.2%, and the exact number depends on whether you have children. Your employer always pays a fixed 1.8% and you cover the rest. Let's run the numbers through a real life example. Imagine you are earning 50,000 euro per year. You don't have children and you are with a provider like TK or AOK. The standard rate you pay is 7.3%. The additional rate, let's say your insurer charges 2.7%. So you pay the half of it, that is 1.35%. And the long-term care, since you don't have kids, your rate is 4.2%. Your employer pays 1.8%, leaving you with 2.4%. So the grand total, your total insurance cost is around 21.5% of your salary. But after your employer pays their share, you are only responsible for 11.5%. On a 50,000 salary, that's about 460 euro per month. It's a chunk of change, but remember, this covers you completely, no matter how many doctor visits you need. Wait, remember that contributing ceiling we mentioned before? If your salary jumps up to say 80,000 euro, you don't keep paying 11.5% of that full amount. For 2026, the math stops at 69,750 euros. Even if you earn more, your contribution is capped as if you only earned 69,750 euros. The system basically says, okay, you have contributed enough. The last thing to keep in mind is that today we only talked about health and long term care. Your payslip will also show deductions for things like your pension and unemployment insurance. But we will save that for another video. Alright, let's say you have hit the big milestone. Your salary has officially climbed above 77,400 for the year. Congratulations! In the eyes of the German social system, you are now a freiwillig physician or voluntarily insured. For the first time since you started working here, the government isn't telling you which system you have to be in. You now have a choice. Stay with the public system JKV or switch to the private PKV. Let's look at what that actually means for your wallet and your care. Option A, staying with the public system, JKV. A lot of people choose to stay put, and that's perfectly fine. If you stay in JKV, things keep running pretty much like they did before, but with one major perk we mentioned earlier, the cap. Remember, the contribution ceiling for 2026 is 69,750 euros. Even though you're earning over 77,400, your health insurance cost stop growing once you hit that 69,750 euro mark. You have reached the maximum price tag for public insurance. Whether you earn 80,000 or 200,000, your monthly premium stays exactly the same. It's predictable, it covers your family for free, and it's the safe harbor for many. Option B, switching to private, PKV. Then there's the private route. This is where things get interesting. Unlike the public system, which looks at your income, private insurance looks at you, your age, your health, and the specific perks you want. Why do actually people switch? It's usually for one of the two reasons. To save money, if you're young, healthy, and a high earner, a private premium can actually be significantly cheaper than the maximum public rate. The second is to get a better coverage. We are talking about shorter wait times for specialists, private hospital rooms, or access to top tier dental work that the public system might only partially cover. It sounds tempting, right? But here's the human truth. Private insurance is a long term relationship. While it might be cheaper now, those premiums can change as you get older. Choosing between JKV and PKV isn't just about next month's payslip. It's about how you want your healthcare to look 10 or 20 years from now. So, if you're standing at that 77,400 euros finish line, take a breath. You don't have to rush the decision, but you do have to make one. Are you a play it safe person who loves the solidarity of the public system, or are you looking for premium perks and potential savings? So, now we have covered about one main employment. What if we have two or more of them? Maybe you want to pick up a few extra hours on the weekend or help out at a cafe. You are looking at a mini job. So, you have got your main career going on and you want to work on a mini job. The big question everyone asks, if I get a second job, will my health insurance eat up all my extra profit? The short answer is, if it's your first mini job, the answer is a resounding no. Let's look at the rules for 2026. In 2026, the threshold for a mini job has moved up to 603 euro per month. As long as your side job stays at or below that 603 euro mark, the German system treats it with a hands-off approach. You don't have to pay any additional health insurance or long-term care contributions on that money. So, how does it work? Your health insurance is already covered by your main job. Your employer there pays their share, you pay your share, like we discussed, and that's it. Your mini job income comes to you without any extra deductions for health insurance. It's a clean plus to your bank account. There is one very important rule to remember. This free pass only applies to your first mini job. If you have a main employment plus one mini job, it's like that side job is invisible to your health insurance provider. You contribute based on your main salary and the mini job stays in your pocket. However, if you try to add a second or third mini job, the rules change and things start getting stacked together. So, to keep it simple, the main job, you pay your standard contributions as usual, and one mini job up to 603 euros, you pay 0 euros in additional health insurance. It's one of the few times where the bureaucracy actually works in favor of your extra hustle. Just keep an eye on that 603 euro limit. If you go over the mini job, magic disappears. So, we have talked about the steady mini job. But what if you're not looking for a long term side gig? What if you just want to work incredibly hard for a few weeks, maybe at a summer festival, a Christmas market, or a short term corporate job, and then stop? This is where short term employment, kurzfristige Beschäftigung, comes in. And honestly, it's one of the best ways to boost your bank account without your health insurance taking a bite. Here is the deal for 2026. A side job is considered short term if you keep it within these strict limits. 1. 3 months if you're working at least 5 days a week, or 70 working days per calendar year. As long as you stay under that 70-day limit, the German system looks at your income and says, keep it all, well, at least when it comes to health insurance. No income limit? Yes, really. Here is the part that surprises people. Unlike the mini job we talked about earlier, which is capped at 603 euro a month, short-term employment has no income limit. You could theoretically earn a very high amount in those 70 days. Because you already have a main job where you are paying your standard health insurance, the side income is contribution free. You still pay your regular insurance on your main job salary, but this extra sprint of income doesn't increase your health insurance bill by a single cent. The system treats this as a temporary extra rather than a permanent career change. It's designed for flexibility. So if you're planning to do some heavy lifting for a couple of months to save for a vacation or a new car, this is your best friend. Just remember, track your days. Once you hit day 71, the short-term magic expires and you will likely be reclassified, which means the insurance office will start knocking on your door again. To recap the sprint rule, the limit is 3 months or 70 days per year. The pay, there is no maximum limit on what you can earn, and none of your health insurance will be caught. You contribute exactly as if you had only one main job. We have looked at the easy side jobs, the ones that stay under the radar. But what happens if your side job starts doing really well? Maybe you got a promotion at your weekend gig, or your freelance project is bringing in more than 603 euro a month. Once you cross that mini job line in 2026, the rules change. Your side hustle is no longer invisible to the health insurance office. It is now fully active in the system. Here is how the German system looks at it. They don't treat your two jobs as separate silos anymore. Instead, they look at your total gross income. If you have your main job and side job earning say 1000 euro a month, the insurance providers add those two numbers together. You and your employers will pay the statutory health and long-term care contributions on that combined total. You will see deductions on your side job payslip just like you do on your own main one. It's a bit of a welcome to the big leagues moment for your side business. Now, you might be thinking, wait, if I work two high-paying jobs, will they just keep taking more money forever? Thankfully, the answer is still no. Remember our old friend before, the contribution assessment ceiling? For 2026, that magic number is 69,750 euro a year. If your main job plus your side job together stay under that ceiling, you pay contributions on every euro. But once your combined income hits that 69,750 euro mark, the insurance office stops counting. Any income earned above that ceiling is contribution free. Let's say you earn 5,000 a month at your main job and 1,000 at your side job. Combine that's 6,000. Because the monthly ceiling is 5,812 euro per month, you only pay health insurance on that first 5,812 euro. That extra 187.50 euro you earned, that's yours to keep without any health insurance deductions. The system effectively caps your total bill regardless of how many jobs you have. It's a bit more paperwork, but it ensures that no matter how much you hustle, your health insurance costs stays predictable. So, you have decided to go solo. You are a freelancer, a self-employed entrepreneur, or a creative. Congratulations! You now have total freedom over your schedule, but you also have total responsibility for your health insurance. In Germany, you generally have 3 doors you can walk through. Let's figure out which one has your name on it. Staying public, the voluntary member. If you like the safety and family-friendly nature of the public system, you can join the JKV as a voluntary member. But there's a catch. You usually need a history with them. To qualify, you typically need to have been in the German public system for at least 12 months straight before going freelance or 24 months over the last 5 years. You have a strict 3-month window to apply for this after your last job ends. Miss that deadline and the door might slam shut. Since there is no employer, you pay the full amount, roughly 14.6% plus the additional contribution and long-term care. It's based on your income, so the more you earn, the more you pay, up to that ceiling we talked about earlier. Going private. Here is where it gets interesting for freelancers. Unlike employees, you don't need to hit a salary threshold to go private. You can choose PKV from day one, regardless of what you earn. Private insurances doesn't care about your income. It cares about you. How old are you? How's your health? What kind of VIP perks do you want? If you are young, healthy, and just starting out, PKV can often be much cheaper than the public voluntary option. But remember, this is a long-term play. Check out our deep dive into the PKV section in the last video. The artist's secret. Are you a graphic designer, a journalist, a musician? If you are in a creative or media profession, you might have access to the Künstler Sozialkasse. Think of it as a phantom employer. The benefit is you get to stay in the public system, but you only pay 50% of the cost. The German state and the companies that use artistic services pay the other 50%. It is arguably the best deal in the country for freelancers, though the application process is famously thorough. If you qualify, it's a massive win for your monthly budget. To recap your 2026 options, JKV, which is the safe, familiar, but you pay the whole bill unless you are a high earner at the cap. PKV is a total choice with no income limit and potentially cheaper for the young and healthy. KSK, the holy grail for creatives, public benefits at half the price. Being self-employed in Germany is a journey, and your health insurance is your safety net. Choose the one that fits your career path and not just your current bank account. Now let's talk about civil servants. If you are a civil servant, Beamter in Germany, your health insurance world looks very different from everyone else's. You have a special system designed specifically for you, and it all revolves around one word, Beihilfe. Essentially, the state acts as your silent partner in healthcare. Let's look at this why most civil servants choose one specific path and what happens if you decide to go against the grain. Instead of a standard employer-employee split, the state offers to pay a huge chunk of your medical bills directly. This is the Beihilfe. Depending on where you live and your family status, the state covers between 50 and 70% of your expenses. Because the state is already funding most of the bill, you only need to insure the leftover part. Most civil servants take out a residual cost insurance, Restkostenversicherung, with a private provider. Since you are only insuring a small percentage of the risk, the premiums are often incredibly low, making private insurance PKV the go-to choice for the vast majority of civil servants. What if you want to stay public? You can choose to stay in the public system, but you have to be careful. In the past, if a civil servant chose JKV, they often had to pay their entire bill themselves, both the employee and the employer share. That can get very expensive very fast. However, as of 2026, things are changing. Many federal states now offer a 50% subsidy on your JKV premium to make it more affordable. Here is where it gets a bit German bureaucracy style. Whether you get that 50% help depends on where you live. If you are in Baden-Württemberg, Berlin, Brandenburg, Bremen, Hamburg, Niedersachsen, Sachsen, Schleswig-Holstein, or Thüringen, the state will help you pay for your public insurance. But you live in a state not on that list, you are likely on the hook for the full 100% of the premium yourself. It's a huge factor to consider before you sign up. If you do go for the public route, your cost in 2026 will look like this. 14% standard rate, a roughly 2.9% of additional contribution on average, and long-term care which depends on your family. It ranges from 4.2 if you have no kids down to 2.6% if you have 5. Remember, these numbers are for 2026. They tend to creep over time, so keep an eye on annual updates. Let's now talk about retirees or pensioners. You have worked hard, you have reached retirement, and now it's time to enjoy your pension. But there is one guest that follows you into retirement: health insurance. In Germany, most retirees stay in the public system, JKV. While you are no longer an employee, the way you pay for your coverage stays surprisingly similar to your working days, just with a few seniority adjustments. Let's look at the numbers for 2026. The first thing to know is that your contribution rate actually drops slightly because retirees no longer need sick pay. Since you don't have a salary to replace if you are ill. Your standard rate is 14% instead of the 14.6% that employees pay. On top of that, you have the additional contribution, which is averaging about 2.9% in 2026. You aren't paying this alone. Your pension insurance provider acts like an employer. They chip in and cover exactly half of your health insurance premium. You pay your half, they pay theirs. Then there is long term care insurance. This one is entirely on you, and the price depends on your family history. If you never had children, you will pay the highest rate of 4.2%. However, if you have children, that rate drops with every child under 25, potentially going as low as 2.6%. In total, when you add it all up, most retirees are looking at a total contribution between 19.5% and 21.1% of their pension income. But remember, you only personally pay about half of that total. There is a hidden rule in the German system that can save you a lot of money. It's called the 90% rule. If you were insured in the public system for at least 90% of the second half of your working life, the insurance office only looks at your state pension. If you don't meet this 90% requirement, the insurance office might look at all your income, like private savings, rental income from a property, or other investments, and charge you insurance on all of it. Meeting that 90% mark is essentially the key to a much cheaper retirement. What if you are unemployed? Life happens, and sometimes you're between roles, taking a sabbatical or looking for your next big thing. In Germany, having health insurance is mandatory even when you aren't drawing a salary. The good news: the system is designed to catch you. Here is how your health insurance works if you find yourself unemployed in 2026. Before you do anything else, check your family status. If your spouse or registered partner is insured in the public system JKV, you might be eligible for a family insurance. As long as your monthly income stays below a certain limit, you can be added to their plan for €0 extra per month. It is the simplest and most cost effective safety net in the country. We have a whole section on the requirements for this in the earlier roadmap, so definitely check that out first. If you are receiving unemployment benefits, whether it's Arbeitslosengeld or the basic support known as Bürgergeld, the state effectively becomes your employer. The employment agency, Agentur für Arbeit, or the job center will pay your health and long term care contributions for you. You don't have to worry about the premiums, and your coverage continues exactly as it did when you were working. It's one less thing on your plate while you focus on your next career move. But what if you aren't eligible for family insurance and you aren't receiving government benefits? Maybe you are living off savings for a while. In this case, you are responsible for your own voluntary contributions. Even if your income is zero, the insurance officers use a minimum assessment base to calculate your bill. For 2026, this base is €1,318.33 per month. Your total contribution, the health and long term care, will roughly be 17 to 18% of that minimum base. This means you will likely to pay between €230 and €245 per month. It's an out of pocket expense and you will want to budget for if you're planning a voluntary break from work. That brings us to the end of our series on health insurance for employees and beyond. From your first mini job to your final years in retirement, the German system is a complex puzzle, but it's one that ensures everyone is covered. The key takeaway: knowledge is literally money. Knowing these thresholds, ceilings, and subsidies for 2026 allows you to make decisions that keep more of your hard earned cash in your pocket. Don't forget to keep an eye on official sites like Bundesregierung.de for the latest updates as these numbers shift with the economy. Thanks for sticking with us through this roadmap. Now you are ready to navigate the system like a pro.